for Augustana. We have head coach Tom Biller, juniors Casey Sioux and Daniel Jansen. Augustana finishes the season 31-3. And coach, you'd like to start us.
Well, I sure happier yesterday. I wish it was 24 hours ago because that was a lot more fun than this. It's tough, kind of an empty feeling. You know, in the locker room, no moral victories. This has to hurt. You need to know this. This is what's going to motivate us for the spring, summer, and fall, and we're going to learn from it. Having said that, compliment Northwest Missouri State. They played a very good basketball game. They came out in the second half and did the things that we thought they could do, and they did it. We thought we were playing a little bit with fire and some fool's gold in the first half because definitely Zach Schneider was getting good looks and missing them, and we know how good a shooter he is. And all of his shots have been 3, but 17 or 18 this year. We know he's a very prolific three-point shooter. And he was a concern, and he hit some with us in his face, and that's what big-time players do. And he made some big-time shots, and I thought he was really the energy and the spark that was the difference, to be honest. Even though they happened fairly early in the second half, I thought that was really the when you look back, it's all the sums, you know, all the parts add together an entire 20-minute half, and those early minutes in the second half were huge for them and really got them right back in the game. Compliment them, and that's a good basketball team.
Dan, I hate to ask you an obvious or a dumb question, but can you try to describe what it feels like when you're having such a special season and it comes to an end so unexpectedly like this?
Yeah, I guess Coach kind of mentioned it. You know, it hurts, and I think it's supposed to hurt. If it doesn't hurt, you're not. I don't want you here, really, to be honest. But I definitely could tell in the locker room everybody's in pain. They wanted it, and there wasn't anybody thinking, "Oh, we got next year. We got next year. I'm only a sophomore," or anything like that. So I think it's just a learning experience. You know, last year's season going just above 500 was a learning experience, and that fueled this fire for this season. And this isn't where we want to end up this year, so hopefully it fuels this fire for the next season.
Casey, was there something that they did to keep the ball from you away today? And you only got 6 shots. I'm sure you expected more than that.
Yeah, just Schneider just guarded me tough. I mean, there wasn't a lot of room for me to do much tonight. I mean, every time I dribbled, every time I attacked, they were just in my gaps, and that's why I had a terrible number of 6 turnovers. I mean, it's unacceptable. I should never have. It's just not a stat you can live with, especially being the last game of the year. So I mean, that's gonna hurt. But, you know, I was careless with the ball. I just attacked the gaps that weren't there, and, you know, that's when you're going to get 6 turnovers.
We also wouldn't be here without these two kids. They gave me everything they had. So you didn't do nothing wrong.
Tom, is there something sort of ironic maybe in that you guys have been so good offensively all year, and at times you've said yourself that you wish you'd been better defensively. You guys are pretty good defensively tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we play defense when we want to. You know, it's not a great habit, but I think when we really have to dig in, we've won games getting stops at the end of a game after we hadn't been doing it, you know, played a little bit of it's not a good way to play defense in spurts. You should play defense for 40 minutes. Actually, your offense should spurt a little bit. We're kind of the opposite. But I thought tonight they did a good job of dictating pace, Matt. I didn't want that. I didn't care if they walked it up. I wanted to push it up. And I thought we got a little bit lack of just, you know, getting it up to our wings and keep pushing it at them, regardless of what they're doing to us. And I thought about the middle 10-minute mark of the first half, to end that half, I thought a couple key things. I thought there were really about 3 or 4 key things. We got into a half-court game with them. We didn't want to do that. Number 2, the way they started the second half. Number 3, which I thought was kind of we had a 3-point lead. We had 3 or 4 just possessions. We didn't score, and to be honest, except for 1 turnover, we had 3 great looks. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have changed anything. It just didn't go down. And I think that could have been a real difference in the game had we just gotten that to 5 or 6 points. And then at the end, that's a hard thing. I'd have to look exactly at the clock, but we looked up, it's 40, 41-ish. That's a 6-second difference between we had to give fouls. We didn't have 7 fouls. Do you try to get a stop, get a rebound secured, and get it up the floor in about 4 seconds off a rebound? Or do you just start fouling and hopefully they miss 1 free throw, you know, and go that? You have to pick it, and you have no time to make it, and that's why you make your decisions and you live with it. And we figured we gotta get him to the free throw line and let's extend the game. It's a hard decision.
And he made all 6.
He made all 6, and we were double teaming him. He wasn't supposed to get open. We were trying to not let him catch all, but he got open and he made them, and they did a good job finding him.
The way the second half started, it was obviously such a fast start. Was that by? I know you guys like to play at that pace. But, you know, what made that
It was a fast start by them,
Do
unfortunately.
you feel like they tried to speed it up?
I think what they did is, they gave us a good punch, and, they're frustrated they were down 8. We talked at halftime. They were down 11 yesterday. I mean, we all know, everybody's at the game. We knew that. I'll be real honest with you. Zach Snyder missed a bunch of good looks in the first half. He's a great shooter, and when you're a great shooter and you're getting good looks, you're going to either you go one of two directions. Oh, it's not my night. Or, like I said, he's a great shooter, and he's like, I'm going to hit these shots. And so he just came out in the second half, and he had space. And then when we took his space away, there's a couple times he's in his face, and he's burying him, but he had his confidence going. He was in a rhythm. And that's what players do. We do the same thing. Dan had been on and off with some threes tonight. We needed a big one. He got it. And who we were going to go to? We were going to Dan. So, he's a great shooter, and that's what happens.
Casey, you guys both alluded to it earlier, but next year now will be sort of it for the two of you at least. How will this moment today motivate you going forward through the offseason and into next season?
This is it. I mean, we got one more year. We're gonna play like every game. I mean, we get guaranteed 26, 27 games next year, or 28, 29 games, whatever we play, and we get one conference game. So it's coming down. I mean, it's we see the end, and this just fuels you even more. I mean, I feel like Dan and myself are two of the hardest working guys I know. And I really feel like it's really going to fuel us. I know it's going to fuel Al Richter. I just really think that our team's going to build around this, and we don't want this anymore. We wanted to do something special this year, and we did some small things, tying for the conference, winning a conference tournament, whatever. I mean, it doesn't mean anything because we didn't do this. I mean, it's all something, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this is a huge letdown.
It'll mean more in a few years than it means right now.
I was just going to ask you, by just about any measure, this has been the most successful season in the history of the program. For you, how will you remember it? I mean, maybe it's tougher for the players, but how will you look back at this year?
It's funny because I've been on, we won 6 games our first year here, and then we came back with a whopping 8 and 12. I mean, I've been to both, but it's always been about the program, the kids, and it's always been about practice and preparation. And I can honestly look you in the eye and know that I didn't even feel like we had won 19 in a row or what our record was. I never knew our record. And I've never known I don't even care. It's about practice and the next game and preparation. And I would honestly say I think our guys treated it that way. Everybody thought the pressure of the streak. You know what happened to Winona? They guarded us and they played well. It was a similar game to this. It was a very similar game. And they guarded us well. And they made some key shots too. And I just think we played a very similar game. And we played hard. We didn't make mistakes. But it's always about the kids. It's always about the program, the family of the program, and it's about getting better. And you just live for practice. I can't tell you how much I enjoy practice. It's why I do what I do.
And you had a really good year. I'm just trying to get you to acknowledge that it was a really great season.
It'll be good in 10 years. They're 15 when they bring this team back, and we honor them, and they bring their kids with them, and I get to meet their wives, and I get to see their children. It's going to be great then. But right now, I'm empty. I'm hollow. It's empty right now. I can't sit there and enjoy moral victories. It's a tough day. Proud of our guys, proud of the school, proud of everything. Very thankful. Thank the good Lord we play for him. I'm proud and happy for all of this. But I got news for you. Right now, it's tough. It's tough. And I tip my hat to Northwest Missouri State. They beat us. But I don't want to be done with these guys. I want to be at practice tomorrow. Selfishly, I want practice tomorrow. And it's gone. And I can't fix it. I'll watch the film. I'll get frustrated at the film. I'll see a missed call both ways. The rest were great. But it's hard to explain. It's till you go through it. It's a unique profession. I'll tell you what, these two right here are about as good as they come. And I want to be around them, and I want to be getting better. And you don't get better, our whole team, you don't have better human beings at this level, better kids.
Second year in a row they've come into that situation and, beating the number 1 team in the region at their place. Is there something in their DNA? Did you see something from their players that makes them built for that situation?
I think they're a good team. I mean, look how they travel. My gosh. I mean, they've got bands and cheerleaders and fans. They've got a proud program. I think what's cool about this region is Central Missouri, Northwest Missouri State. These are cornerstones of Division II athletics for a long time. These are what these are the building blocks, the cornerstones. And to have them here and to see how they do things and what have you, and we're getting there. And we'll get there too. But it's cool. That's a big time program. And they've got good funding, they've got great backing, and they're there. I mean, they're ahead. I mean, they've got a lot going their direction. 12,000, 14,000 students. I mean, it's a different deal now, and they're good at it. And I tip my hat not only to their coaches and their team tonight, their administration and their community and their president and their school. They're good. And so are we. Two good teams playing tonight, great teams. Both won their leagues. Great basketball game. We came up 2 points short. Good question, though, because I thought about that last year, too.